And welcome everybody to DotP Plays Dota 2 with Roland and MistaBlue. It won't always be that way, of course, because we will switch up the people talking about Dota 2 because the people who play Dota 2 are switched up. As in tons of people that we know play Dota 2 and love Dota 2 and try and do their 10 hero challenge like I'm trying to do right now. How are you doing, Mr. Blue?
I am doing fine. How about you? How's this 10 hero challenge going?
It's going well. I am well. Working on homework, working on this film. I don't think I've sent you the picture, which I could do now and just
I haven't, but don't. I'm really bad with spoilers. If you tell me
really?
something, I will immediately blurt it out. Like, I can't control myself.
Well, I think I'll reveal a little bit more as we get closer. We're dealing with a 7-foot by 30-inch by 24-inch piece of styrofoam that is being carved to look like something in the game for our video. Something that you see very, very often, and you will definitely recognize.
Especially lately, right?
Yes, especially
it's a timely hero.
Especially as of late. It's pretty much all you see. Anyway, I have definitely inhaled a shitload of styrofoam. My nose bleeds randomly. I have to kind of wipe that away. But it's been a blast. It's been a blast. I'm looking forward to releasing it to you all. And also, yeah, just working on it and revealing it to you, especially, Blue.
Are you sure you're having fun or just getting really high off the burnt styrofoam?
Is that why my head shakes the way it does? Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. Like, you should look into that third arm thing that's growing. I think that those might be related, but I don't know. I'd get that checked out if I were you. I don't know if they have doctors, in the mountains, but
in the mountains.
But if
I were a bastard, I would be Roland Mountain. Is what I would be. That would be my last name. Jon Snow, born in the snow. I am Roland, born in the mountains. Is what I am.
Of the mountain. That's
Yeah,
right.
Roland of the mountains for sure.
This were in Mexico would be like de la montaña.
But for mountains, the internet is fucking great out here. I'll tell you that much. Never had an issue. Yeah, dude. I'm getting like 78 right now.
I hate you.
Yeah.
I hate you.
I'm in the red hot zone on the Ookla test.
Oh, I pay exorbitant amounts of money for like 30.
Oof.
Maybe.
Really?
Well, yeah.
When's the fiber coming to hit your state?
I mean, this is Chicago we're talking about, so
wow.
God knows when. We'll probably be one of the last ones thanks to our wonderful bureaucracy. But,
of course.
The city that works.
Of course.
But yeah, it's going pretty well. The internet is working well enough to play some good Dota. Like you, I've been doing the 10 hero challenge, and it has been a challenge.
Yeah, it has. So basically, I'll run you through. I'm not in Dota 2, but the ones that I've recently played, and these are heroes that I don't play often at all. The first was Omni Knight, and I had to play Omni Knight, and I really loved playing Omni Knight. I got him in 2. The first game was, I got him in 1, because I randomed him. That's right, I have been randoming again, because I figure, and my MMR has dropped a little bit, but I'm enjoying the game more, and that's what I thought. It's like, this is a game built for enjoyment. I'm not letting people down. I'm doing my best. And if I get a really shitty random like Earth Spirit or Invoker, and no Invoker I kept, and we lost. But that wasn't because of the Invoker. I'm pretty sure that was because of some other people on the team.
I'm sure.
And then,
I believe you.
Anyway, then I played Faceless Void legitimately, as in I didn't random him, I picked him. And really enjoyed my time, and I thought, what a cool hero. I don't think I did things that were popular, and it got me killed one time because the Earthshaker blocked me in and I didn't have Time Walk. I went backtrack the damage and bash the dude as my first skills, and at level 3 I still
you skipped his escape ability
because I had a poor man's shield, and I said, I'm playing safe. I'm diving in for my last hits, and I had an Earthshaker who was doing good things. He got his W first instead of Fisher.
Huh.
And was just like sitting around stunning people in lane, and it's only like for Enchant Totem it's cheap. I mean, he can do it more times than he can Fisher.
Oh yeah, you could spam that. It's just a matter of walking up and being
being
able to get in the face.
We were against a Phantom Lancer, and we were against another melee hero, Troll Warlord. So we were against these two super melee heroes.
Carries.
Yeah,
carries
two carries.
Of
course, it's a dumb lane that we're going up against. But our lane makes sense, so I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
And then he gets Fisher, and I'm in the side shop like an idiot, and I walked down there because I was getting way too overconfident, and I wanted to finish my treads. And I walk down to get, spend my 900 or so gold, and I get killed. And I lose like 300 gold right there because he fishers me in, and I can't time walk out because I went backtrack 2, and I went bash, 1 or something like that. Because they were aggressive, they were constantly hitting me, and I said, okay, if I can mitigate as much damage as possible, if I can get rid of as much damage that's incoming by a percentile chance, I'm going to be able to survive in this lane longer, get more last hits, do better as a carry, like what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. That's an interesting way to look at it.
I don't know what the norm is for Faceless Void. I've never been interested in that role, I guess, or those types of heroes. Mm-hmm. So I know people say probably backtrack level 1 is what I'd guess, just so you always have an escape.
You mean the jump.
The Q, time walk.
Time walk, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't play it much either, but I know you at least get 1 value point in that, and then you can.
I got it at level 5.
Stuff. Yeah.
I got it at level 5.
Wow, that is greedy.
Yeah, I got it at level 5. I got backtrack 2 and the bash 2, and then went time walk into chrono. So, and it worked out in the end. Luckily, I only died 1 time in the whole game. I think 1 or 2 times maybe. Do you have Dota open?
I do. You died 6 times.
I died 3 times the amount I just said. Okay, so wow.
That's okay. All right, it's the Roland inflation.
It's the Roland exaggeration inflation.
6 times,
yes,
you died 18 times, but that's okay.
So I didn't do so good. I died like 6 times. Times it by 3. That's probably the amount. I didn't realize that. That's crazy. It felt like just such a one game. I had a Mjolnir. I had an MKB. This I'm not lying about. I had good farm. It felt like.
Yeah, you did. You know what to think about?
I feel like I had incredible fun.
Playing a game with Roland, there's like 3 things that I can count on reliably. And prepare. Yes, shit talk incoming.
Okay, here we go.
3, 2, 1. Okay, number 1 thing I can expect when I play a game with Roland, he will not buy a BKB, and if he does, it will not get used.
No, I'm bad at it. I'm bad at BKBs, and I've admitted that. Cyphus, you can attest to this.
Yeah,
I've admitted it to you.
Yeah, you've openly, and you know what? That's okay. As long as you realize the limitation, we can work around it. Mm-hmm. Number 2 thing we can expect, he will farm way more than you would expect him to farm. That's actually a compliment for you.
Upside
is that somehow you will get way more last hits than a lot of other people in the same lane. So that speaks to your mechanical skill.
But imagine if I wasn't dying.
That.
Imagine if I wasn't dying.
Yes, and number 3, you die way more often than you think you die.
I mean, obviously so. I can't even dispute that.
15 deaths was in that last game.
Oh yeah, 15. We played with Malastrix last game, and a guy named Alex and a guy I can't remember the other guy's name. He does a podcast for Team Liquid. He's been doing it for 2 months now.
I listened to that podcast. That's really fun. They do a good job.
Oh, I hadn't even heard of it until today.
It's on. It's
definitely
up on,
look.
If you want to see it, it's on. Or see the podcast. If you want to hear it, it's on Liquid Dota. Usually they post something on that site. I only know that because I am like a total Team Liquid fanboy.
I have been too. Me too.
Like that website is just the best, right? For Starcraft.
For Starcraft 2, that was the hub. Like you would go to the Liquipedia to look up information on specific pros. Like you know, like there's a Starcraft 1 poker pro. I forget his name, but when I was getting into Starcraft, I saw him play, and then when I was getting into poker, I saw him play.
Yeah,
I can't remember the guy's name. It was he played Starcraft 1 Brood War. So
there's, it's weird. This will be a tangent I go off on, but there's a lot of professional game players, esports pros that if they move away from a game where it's kind of just too physically demanding or the training time just takes up too much time for them, it's usually they go into their mid to late 20s. They just kind of start to slow down physically, or they get married and can't afford to spend as much time on it. they transition into poker. It's like a really common thing that you see a lot of former, like you said, Brood War players go into. Some Dota players have gone into it. I think some League of Legends players have, and it kind of it fits because it's a game that has some random, like some RNG kind of style. Like
it does.
It's a gambling game, obviously, but it requires a lot of strategy. A lot of thought goes into it. A lot of mechanics are go into the game. So
absolutely. I mean, from previous episodes that we've done, I reference poker all the time with Dota 2. I especially feel poker in Dota 2, like you said, with RNG. Like you put yourself in the best position you can get in, but even sometimes that goes bad.
Yeah,
and in
sometimes
Dota 2,
if you play too safe, then you're going to get beat because
if you play too safe, you don't make anything, but you don't lose anything. And there have been nights where I mean, my fiance is a perfect example of plays too safe, but it really worked out for her, where she played for 4 hours and really never made a play, made one play that entire night, hit quads, and doubled her money. So I mean, playing safe can sometimes work that way, or you can make nothing. Playing aggressively, obviously, it has its ups and its downs in poker. You can get your allies on, or your enemies on tilt, and there are certain things that you can do to do that. A bluff, certain things. There is that in, just tacit, like playing the game.
Yep.
Just, the little things.
Keeping your emotions in check.
Yeah, like when the Shadow Fiends, for instance, come on your high ground. When you're a certain hero, say you're like Brewmaster or somebody, and the Shadow Fiend's like right up in your face, like, I don't care. Like that, just doing that is like a bluff in and of itself. Like he can't kill you, and you should know that, but he's standing there being a looming threat. I don't know. It's absolutely. I didn't know so many people migrated.
Yeah, it's a really cool. It's just a cool thing to see transition. I don't know if you remember, there was a. I know we're totally going off the rails, but just as an example, Jinro used to be a Team Liquid player.
Liquid Jinro. He's from the Sweden.
Yeah, right? He's from Sweden, and now he was one of the best StarCraft 2 players in the world for a year.
For the first little bit. Not in the world. I mean, he didn't take
the world.
He didn't take the GSLs. He never took the GSLs.
He went to like the round of 4 like 2-3 times in a row.
But he never won the GSL. Like it was always South Koreans. He was the best foreigner in the first year, I would say.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're able to make it to the round of 4, that makes. I mean,
that doesn't make you the best.
Let's put it honestly.
Doesn't make you the best.
If you don't know Dota, though, or if you only play Dota and you don't know StarCraft, if you're the top 4 in the GSL, which is the Korean, typically Korean only, just because it's so good, but it's like the top league.
It's called the Global StarCraft League.
Yeah.
It's supposed to represent the highest skill.
If you're the top 4 in that, you are among the best in the world.
You are among the best in the world,
and a couple breaks here and there can separate you and the next best guy.
And I'm not saying anything bad about Jinro. I think he's awesome. Yeah. And Jinro is a type of alcoholic beverage in South Korea. That is what Jinro stands for.
I had no idea.
Yeah. And the cool thing about that story was when he came back from Korea, and this is after about a year. He did so well in the other scenes that they just were like, no, dude, you belong in Korea. You don't belong playing in these foreign events that we would watch, like Dream Hacks. And I mean, maybe he'd go in the Dream Hacks, but MLGs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, he did kick ass, and it was awesome. When I saw that game, he was against... I know Zerg was really, really, really in meta at that time, and I know that Zergs were dominating, like usual. Like Life. I mean, Life was the best in the world, so was DRG for a while. And I know we're talking about StarCraft 2. That's okay. We'll get back to Dota 2.
The tangent
Guess
is
who's
quite
not
real.
Here to stop the StarCraft 2 talk? You know
I'll
what
do
I mean?
it. I'll fill it. I'm just going to circle this conversation back around as, Resident Life is here. And just note that, yes, indeed, Liquid Jinro did turn to poker. So that's we've come full circle, turn to poker, which connects to Dota 2.
He turned to
only
poker?
God knows how. But anyway, so I completely digress. But
okay, we can digress. We can talk about Dota 2. Source 2 announced.
Oh yes, please, let's talk more about this.
Kimbrel said that it was going to change things for DotP, and I completely agree. I think it will bring new changes to what's going on, and I think the landscape of gaming in itself is changing. we are witnessing a new rising, ladies and gentlemen. As crazy as that sounds, we are. Where people want to see video games on ESPN. That's another thing we didn't talk about.
That's right.
Ninjas in Pajamas won a tournament. Spoiler alert! In the past, 15 seconds ago, Ninjas in Pajamas wins. It was great. Those games were awesome. Nahaz was doing statistics for them, which was cool. And
which tournament was this? Was this the X Games?
The X
tournament
Games
you're
tournament.
Talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was really cool, and it was on ESPN. Once again,
that was on ESPN. They had
yes,
that Heroes game that we won't talk too much about on ESPN as well.
Oh, did they? They had League of Legends on?
No, the other game,
Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, that one.
Really? Are there pro teams already?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They had like a big tournament at BlizzCon and stuff like that. I mean, like the MOBA scene in general is just huge. It's blown up to massive proportions. It's basically MOBAs, Counter-Strike, and everything else.
It is
right.
I can't believe I think the Starcraft 2 can come back. I'd love to see it come back. I don't think this new expansion is going to do it. I really don't. Although I probably will get the new expansion.
I'm totally buying that
2.
thing day one. Yeah, those campaigns are so good.
Dude, I remember when Heart of the Swarm came out, I was like, I'm not even going to buy it. I'm kind of losing, the wing, like the wind under my wings. And then I bought Heart of the Swarm, and it reinvigorated something in me, dude.
That's right.
And I played for a while, and it was a blast. And because, learning I don't know, I mean, eventually you get down to a point where what Wazoo says, it's like rock, paper, scissors. I think it's more reactionary, gain intelligence and react to the intelligence you gained. That is the main point of spy
as quick as you can,
and be very quick. And mechanics weren't everything. There are some people that were mechanically very good, but I don't know if they were smart enough, intelligent enough to keep going, to go into some of those higher tiers where. Like the bombers and stuff like that. They were just they were like perfect.
Level, sure.
They were just like perfect. And it takes more to be a StarCraft 2 player than a Dota player. I'm gonna say that much as far as APM. But they're trained movements, whereas Dota it's variable. So I think it's different types of knowledge, but they're definitely faster in StarCraft 2. I mean,
Dota and StarCraft 2 are really hard to compare because Dota is. I mean, one, they're a team game, right?
Yeah.
Or it's a team game versus a single-player game, and that will
Dota was always solo.
Make comparisons difficult. Mm-hmm. Two, obviously, as you mentioned, the mechanicals, like the actions per minute required to be at a pro level in the StarCraft 2 scene it's much more important to have high APM than it is for a Dota player to be clicking around as much.
I would compare APM to last hitting, dude. The faster you are, the better you are. Usually.
That's true. There's probably a correlation there. I mean, that's a mechanical skill.
It is a mechanical skill, but it's way different. And it's not like if you play StarCraft, you're going to get last hitting. Like last hitting is something that is just barely hitting me now. Like last hitting and denying, like how important it is. Of course, 50 gold adding up over and over and over is important. Like duh. But for some reason, for a lot of games, I didn't make it main priority. I just wanted to chase the soccer ball around and hopefully kill a guy. And that was the goal. And luckily, my goal, still being that, has shifted to get some last hits while you do that. Still kill the guy.
Which is
a bad trait, and it does get me in trouble. I definitely have some sort of instinctual I'm supposed to kill him. So you should go kill him right now, and it's I'm not. I never once said I was great at the game. I mean, I did make it to a playoffs in an amateur Dota 2 league. So I don't. I mean, that's I mean, I don't want to contender. I don't want to boast too much. But we made it to the playoffs 9-1, and then we lost to Dunks and Crits.
No, stroke the EP and stroke it. Stroke it good.
But I have learned. I mean, last hitting, I especially love those heroes. I randomed Enchantress the other day, and it was just about the coolest thing in the world. It was a 2.5 minute Midas. It was an extremely quick Midas. I progressed really, really, really well. I ganked as much as I could. We ended up losing the game. It really sucked. I ended up being the only carry on the team. With the Bloodstone, the Aghanim's, the cheesy Mask of Madness. Boots of Travel. Who knows? You know, like I had a ton of farm that game, and I probably died a lot too. But I did farm a lot. Like you said, I did farm a lot.
You're going to die a lot. You're going to farm a lot.
And I was looked to as like a beacon of hope for the game because there were some crazy things that Enchantress can pull off in the right situations.
That's right.
Like if you're chasing a dude down and nobody understands Enchantress, like it feels like still at 1500, nobody knows the further you run, the more it's going to hurt.
10 years into this game, Enchantress still a mystery.
That's how it feels, at least at my solo MMR. Like when people see Enchantress, they're like, run! She has things that hurt really bad, and they only hurt worse the further I run away.
Or the people that are like, I'm going to walk up and punch you, and then you just like punching in slow motion. Like,
well, you turn on your heel. You turn on your heel, and then you slow them with conversion. And you have impetus, and you're like, okay, let's see it. Like, let's see.
Yeah, like even if they try to punch you, they can't do anything.
They're just you motherfucker.
Yeah, they're just hitting.
Dude,
although, have you ever seen that time when they actually do connect, and it's like a crit, and you just get blown?
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
In slow motion,
even with my heel going.
Terrible.
Yeah, Wraith Kings, it happens all the fucking time, dude. And that's the problem. Is like, I've built a heart on Enchantress. I've built an AC on Enchantress. I think an AC is cooler than a heart. Especially if she can afford it. Why not let Enchantress be the AC carrier? When she's healing, she has like an effective HP that is like almost double what her HP is.
It's insane.
But only for about the mid game. Into like the late game, it's not enough. And when the Wraith King has a Daedalus and an MKB and 2 other core items and a BKB maybe for damage.
And she's a single target hero.
And she is a single target hero, and you think you would love to go up against Wraith King, and you pretty much do. But when you see his sword go over his head when he's going to crit, and the impetus is slowing that down, you're like, oh my fucking god. Like this is going to hurt really bad.
He brings the sword down on your head. And you're just like,
he does like a prayer too, like, you know, forgive him, but I'm going to take his life.
His watch has ended, yeah.
Yeah, his watch has ended. Or her, rather, I guess.
Her watch, yeah.
Yeah, her watch has ended. But, yeah, I love Enchantress, and that was something that I talked about on the show with Cyphus, but not with you, but then I heard your reaction of the show was me saying that I love certain heroes that I can farm with, but I'm not good with those heroes. And I realized that is exactly my issue with heroes like Invoker, or heroes like Storm Spirit. I can get the money. Don't worry. Like I'll get the money for that orchid. I can pay for that. Don't worry.
Doing something with it.
It's just like zipping in and using it and doing my whole combo that I cannot do.
You're like a trust fund baby.
Yeah, maybe that
you got all this money, but you don't know how to spend it. You're incompetent with it, but you somehow find a way to get more, and it's awesome because
I can't play the game. I can't play the game.
You are a great jungler. I got to give you credit for that. I mean,
thank you.
It's something that it is a skill. Like that's a mechanical skill that that people can try to learn, but it takes a while to master that, and you do a really good job with it.
And guess what I've done in games recently, Mr. Blue? Guess what I've done? And it's been working with great success because I've optimized it.
Do tell.
Necro Jungle. I've done that a bunch lately, and it fucking works, dude. When I have like 10 camps, okay? I usually have 10 camps that I kill. Sometimes 11. If I'm doing really well, 12 at 7 minutes. By 7 minutes, 12 camps go bye-bye, okay? With Heartstopper. And this is only if I get dire and I have to buy a Quelling Blade and it's ridiculous and people watching every time are like, what the fuck are you doing, Necro? But by 7 minutes, I have Mechanism, okay? And by 8 minutes, I have Treads. And then I go out and I start roaming the map, dude. I figure, and my level is competent with everybody else's too. I have Reaper Scythe. I have level 4 in my queue.
Okay.
You know, like I go out there and it has fucking led to great success. I'll say that much. And that's at the 1500 level. But that takes, I'll tell you, that is the hardest type of jungling, is the stacking 2 camps every minute is what you're doing. So you're getting...
It's a stress test.
Yeah, it is. And you're having to continually chop down trees because every 4 minutes they grow back. So you know at roughly the 3 minute, 30 second to 4 minute mark, those trees are going to be fucking growing back. you're like, oh, damn it. Like, I have to cut all those trees down with this quelling blade again, or else I can't do this type of jungle. You have to cut like 15 trees to do it. So I have to buy a quelling blade and book it to the jungle. I can't help you contest runes. I can't help fire.
You're fucking useless for 8 minutes at a time.
But when I come out, am I more useful? Is the thing. Am I more useful when I come out?
Or has the game been lost within those 8 minutes? Or has someone invaded your jungle?
And that is the question. And that is the, and it's like, but I guarantee myself, like, I have, like...
It's true.
I guarantee myself an amount of farm. And, there's another hero that you do it with that I will bring up, and it's Techies. Yeah. Techies often has issues with gaining levels. So
you know what you're proposing to me? You're like the college student who just got told about the pyramid scheme, and you're like, this is the legit get rich quick scheme.
I'm a good salesman.
If you tell 2 of your friends and then they tell 4 of their friends,
you think people are going to be doing this?
We'll all be so rich, dude. We'll get so rich and we won't do anything. It'll be just fine. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like, most people, they earn their money the regular way in a lane, or they'll jungle, and then they'll get the rune or something. They'll work their way to the top by, taking down the competition. And you're like, no, fuck that. Competition is creeps. I'm gonna jungle here, and then you're gonna tell your friend about it, and then he's gonna jungle there, and you're like,
I don't want anybody to know about it. It's my jungle, dude. I'm in the jungle, the Roland's jungle.
God. You're just selling that jungle
creeps, they die
to
me.
I'm not buying it, son.
I do love to jungle because I know it's uninhibited farm. I can rely on it. It's a risk factor. I know that it's a risk going into lane. It is. You are risking that the player is better than you, or worse, you're risking, when I'm in the jungle, I just have to do what I did last game.
Yep.
And at my level of MMR, people so rarely come into the jungle to fuck with me. And when they do, it's the most obvious thing in the world. And I'm just like, okay, I'll leave then. Like, I'm farming the 2 safest camps there are. Sure. Like, you have to, like, dive way in deep to the dire.
And you're probably not tanking a lot of hits to do it.
Oh, right? Like, I don't tank any until the very end.
You just stand next to them and they die.
Well, for Necro, I just stand next to them and then they die. But once I'm getting levels as that's happening. Mm-hmm. So once I hit around level 5, I have enough in my queue to pull both the camps together, and with my Q hit every single creep with my Q. And that's the point of doing it, and heal myself. So you get them into a certain AoE that you can hit every single one with a Q, and that's how you burst them down by 7 minutes. Or else I would just be sitting there all day. And Heartstopper Aura, yes, would eventually kill them, but it's my Q that does it, and I need the levels in order to do it.
The Death Pulse, right?
Yeah, it's Death Pulse, yes. Mm-hmm. When I get like 3 levels in it, I get 1 in the regen, I get 1 in Heartstopper at level 1, obviously, and then I get 3 in that. And then at level 6, it's business like usual. I get my Reaper Scythe. Like, that doesn't change. Like, I don't have to do anything drastic. Like, I can still have it. Yeah, so I think it's been optimized. I still, it depends on the game. Like, you would have to be a really good drafter to be like, what would be fucking bomb here is a Necro jungle. Because they're not going to fuck with the jungle, and our lanes are sweet. So we just need one extra hero.
You have to have great lanes.
Yeah, our lanes are so good, we can get rid of one dude. We can 4v5 for 8 minutes. Yeah. No big deal.
Glitch or someone.
Yeah.
Easy lane.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Like, like a bristleback, and then you would need, I don't know. It would be weird. I don't know. It probably wouldn't work. Anyway, it's
all right.
It's a blast to do in pubs, and I understand the difference between, thinking about the game really hard and progressing on that ladder, and I love to be shot down. Like, I've been shot down with so many cheesy builds.
Those get-rich-quick schemes, man.
Well,
gonna get you.
I'm going to talk about Starcraft 2 again, and I'm going to bring up marine rushing. This was something that plagued me for a very long time, that I eventually, when I saw people do it, it would make me laugh because I was gathering intelligence and reacting.
Are we just going to go, is this going to be the cheese podcast? Cheesiest builds you've thought of?
I guess so. I mean,
Let's do it.
The marine rush, you've dealt with it. Everybody's dealt with it.
Mm-hmm.
It was an annoying thing. Or the 10 pool, I guess some people might. The Zerg.
The 6 pool, man. Even more all-in.
The 6 pool is more of a lower tier. The 6 pool is easier to stop than the 10 pool. Because the 10 pool, if you do it right, they have speed. And so they just like run into your base, and you're like, what the fuck? And all of your workers are dead.
The Baneling bus is I love doing that.
And right now, the cheese that's not getting stopped that I'm doing, and I'm just like, I'll climb the ladder until people stop it, is techies. I still play a lot of techies. People can't stop it.
Yep. People don't like to buy detection.
People don't buy detection. They will walk into the what I found with people, and I need to have like Cyphus study this material and analyze it, is that if I place bombs in the same spots where I killed people, I kill people again. And I thought, okay, maybe it's just a really good spot. And so I looked at the map and was like, no, it's a pretty good byway. But it's like people think they're safe because they blew the bombs up there.
It's been used up.
It's been used up, yeah. Like, there's no more bombs there because there were bombs there and I blew them up. And it's
like poker, man.
Yeah. And so I am getting like 3-4 kills from the same bomb spot. And I'm just like sitting in the trees, even like inexperience range. And it's ridiculous. Anyway.
We're talking about cheese. I mean, Techies is right there. He is the Gouda.
Well, yeah, everybody says techies, and I played against some techies. I think there's a definite way to shut him down. I saw techies and I picked Nature's Prophet, and I shut him the fuck down. He didn't do anything the whole game. I went off lane and I built my treants, but I didn't have them fight in lane. I sent them on shift commands to go through every byway on the map, and I found mines like every fucking time.
Yeah. And honestly, that's just what you should be doing after a certain level with Prophet anyways, is using them as scouters.
Yes, and I don't, I'll be honest, like unless there's like a reason to, because it takes micro. It takes more, at least. Like I can't last hit as well when I'm doing that because...
It's like marine splitting in StarCraft.
Marine splitting, yeah. What I would do is I would like shift click in the box to get rid of like 6 at a time and do that multiple times to fan them out.
Mm-hmm.
And that took like 100 APM plus, at least like 110, 120.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really care about APM in this game, honestly. Like I'm constantly clicking, and that's because I want to constantly adjust because he's constantly clicking too. Like
when I play with you guys, it is like I can hear anytime you guys talk, I hear the clicking.
Yeah, the clicking
I'm
is
just
real.
like amazed. You guys have very high APM.
That's StarCraft for me. I mean, that's just and that Blink Dagger and movement, general movement. Although it's weird to only control one guy, because so very rarely are you controlling only one thing, unless it's like a worker in StarCraft 2. You're usually controlling, masses of things, of different, types. Anyway. And that's I think it has lended to Chen. It lends to Meepo. Meepo's another hero that I realize I can get his Ags at like 12 minutes. I can farm him really
like crazy with,
but I can't like poof correctly. Like I can't like net a dude and like just simply send all the Meepos to one. It's just something I can't do. So I don't know.
So you're not playing Meepo in the next AT2L, right?
AT2L. Nope, I will not be playing
Meepo.
And I'm not going to play techies. The thing about techies is it's the type of... So Dota is like 110 different games, right? I've made that analogy before. Like every hero, it's a different game and it's fun and you have a different role. Roles are similar with heroes, but techies is the type of game where I can just kind of turn the volume down and turn the music up and just like have fun, player versus environment, basically, because that's what it is. It only gets PV, like player versus player, until the end.
Yeah.
Like, the first part is like, if I was a person playing this game, where would I walk most? And it's like, I think I walk through here a lot, and I think I walk through there a lot. Then it's like, okay, make sure you're not seen. So maybe that means buy sentries. Maybe that means buy all the smoke and have people get mad at you. Where's the smoke, dude? We need to get in Rosh. Why is it on 17-minute cooldown? I don't know. Maybe it's because I was placing bombs in crazy places, and I need to be invisible.
I was busy, man. I was busy doing important work that you won't know about. Maybe not ever, but that's okay.
I bought a Shadow Blade first on the techies once. Oh. I went that cheesy, dude. Where I was like, okay, I want to just suicide onto people.
Sneaky suicide. You're literally a sneaky suicide bomber.
Yes, I am. I literally am.
Oh my goodness.
And sneak around with the Shadow Blade to place mines in like the deepest parts of their jungle that I know people will go. Like somebody absolutely will go to this spot. And will absolutely trigger these. And they will not place detection first. Why would they? Unless they have a gem, they are dead. And yeah, gem is the ultimate counter to techies, I've learned.
Indeed.
Where if somebody just lives with a gem, they can pretty much foil all of your plans.
You have
instantly.
a gem, you have a ranged hero, you can beat techies.
Yeah. Or if you have a hero that can control neutrals. Or just a Helm of the Dominator. One Helm of the Dominator does it, guys. Buy a Helm of the Dominator. Put it on a hero that it makes semi-sense and convert a creep and have it run around all the byways. And if it dies once, it's worth it. It's you. You know what I mean?
True. All right. This techies talk is good. I want to continue the cheese talk.
Okay.
So tell me, I mean,
as
a guy who
heroes.
I rely on for cheesy builds,
okay,
and inventor of cheesy builds, I mean, we had that whole alchemist experiment. We won't go too deep into that because we talked about it in another podcast, but like other cheesy builds that you have seen or come up with, is there anything that specifically comes to mind?
Well, alchemist mid, I play
mid.
I play in solo if I can do it.
With the support stacking for you the whole time,
No,
right?
of course not. I'm not going to get that at my MMR.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is I'm buying wards, and I'm usually the only one buying wards. And I'm putting one so I can always keep my eye on the other hero because he's probably more powerful than me, is what I figure, for a little bit. And I always get a bottle with him because I'm going mid, and I want to hold on to the bounty until it pops, or until I have to pop it, because it just means that much more gold. I'm like that efficient when I play. I try to be. Like, I'm not great yet. And I just get Greevils, and I try and get bounties, and I get as many last hits as possible. I build usually around a 7-minute Battle Fury if things are going well. If it's late, it's like 10 minutes, and that's with a bottle. And
so it goes bottle, Battle Fury, no Midas.
Sometimes it's boots, sometimes it's Midas. But if the farm's going, you know how sometimes the farm's just going better than a Midas.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just like, no, why would I waste it on something that's not going to pay off for 35 minutes? Why don't I buy something that's going to pay off right the fuck now?
That'll help you farm faster.
Which is a goddamn Battle Fury. Like, that will be awesome. And especially when I go into ult mode, now I can take huge stacks of Ancients, because that is one thing that I'm doing. And the only time I ever consider Alchemist is when we're Radiant. Because it's so fucking important to acid spray your Ancients. And it's so easy. Like, right as you're running to grab the rune, acid spray the Ancients. And guess what? Acid spray them at 54 seconds. Make sure it hits the Ancient pit. And guess what? They run away and it stacks. And you're just continually stacking that. Once you get the Battle Fury, you get 1,000 gold infusion, like instantly, from killing those Ancients. Maybe a little less in some circumstances. And on Radiant, you were so close to 2 jungle camps, one of which spawns mud golems. And for Alchemist, mud golems are the best fucking thing in the world. Same for Shadow Fiend. Mud golems have become the best thing in the world. There's 6 of them. So if you have something that just adds base gold for getting a kill, or something that gives you a soul for getting a kill, they are fucking awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he has access to one of those camps, then he has access to a hard camp, the exact type of camp he'd want. And it's, I don't know, so it can go really bad, is what I'll say.
Sure.
But it can also go really, really, really cheesy, where by 20 minutes in a game, I had Boots of Travel, I had Battle Fury, I had Mjolnir, and I had a Daedalus.
No stat items, eh?
No stat items. I went glass cannon completely, and it fucking worked. Is the funny thing. Is I would just hit, what I would do is my team luckily was working. Oh, and I had Blade Mail too, which was like dissuading them from hitting me. And when they would, I was regenning more than they were. Like, my effective HP was once again higher than theirs.
Yeah. They can't trade with you.
Yeah, they can't trade, especially not with a Blade Mail. So, and if they got hit by me with my ult on, like from the Mjolnir attack speed and the AC attack speed, that's a bunch of attack speed between 2 items.
Sure.
Already he hits and he hits really, really, really hard, and he hits with 2 types of AoE. He hits with the cleave on Battle Fury, and he hits with the Mjolnir. So
sure.
And it was a blast. And I would just, I would act all like come get me, and then just hit my unstable concoction, hit my ult, and then hunt somebody, dude. And it was a blast. And I won that game, and I felt like,
fair enough.
I had
the cheese succeeds.
The cheese succeeded. It was a great time. That was cheesy. I think Enigma is kind of a cheesy hero in the way he farms. There is something that if that hero maybe had better skills or lower cooldowns, he would be the most popular hero in the game.
I don't know. I think it's not that. I wouldn't call him cheesy. I think it's just a function of the hero who He's like a hero that naturally lends.
He is the
himself
master
to
of the jungle,
farming
dude.
the jungle.
He is the master of the jungle. Nobody competes with an Enigma except for those cheesy Necro jungle builds and that cheesy Techie's double stacking build.
Yeah, those are pretty wild.
Yeah.
Speaking of jungle farming, have you seen the carry IO?
I've seen a video of Carry IO where he gets like AC and he gets strength items. I think he got a Reaver and a heart. He definitely had a heart and a mechanism. And he just, I don't know. He got a lot of kills. I don't.
You are not watching. You have not seen the build that this guy that plays only IO goes. He is a god. The build is he essentially just like farms the jungle using his spirits. He stacks them. I think he pulls the first wave mid. So like it usually is on the dire side.
He uses spirits to stack. And I bet he gets 2 camps.
Stack. Yep, he can get multiple camps with them.
Sniper can get 3.
To start the game, he pulls the lane. He pulls the mid lane, so it gives a little bit of an advantage.
It's so hard to do, but you have to be IO. You have to be IO to break those trees to do it.
Yeah, that's right. And he can do that. And then on top of it, all he needs is really a Quelling Blade and a Ring of Regen, just so he can get a Soul Ring really quickly. And then once he gets that, he farms up like crazy. I think within.
Can you use Soul Ring when linked?
Within 6 minutes.
Does Soul Ring work with linking when you're linked to somebody?
Yes, it gives them the mana. Does not reduce their health.
And it doesn't take the mana away if they don't use it.
As far as the whole interaction with Soul Ring and the maximum adding the 150 mana, I have no idea on that, but I do know that it gives the mana, so I would assume
that's fucking cool. That should be core on IO, dude.
Yeah, he gets here it is. He gets a 7-minute 37-second armlet.
Whoa.
7 minutes 37 seconds. Then he usually is level 6 by then.
Is this a jungle thing?
Oh yeah, it's all jungle.
Okay.
He stacks the jungle camps, then uses his what do you call the things? The balls.
The spirits to kill?
The spirits, yeah.
Okay.
The spirits to kill off the camps.
So that spirits get level 4 first?
And then what he does, he ganks the map. He just goes all around the map because by then he's got level 6. So he teleports in on people. He's
So he's just being aggro, even though he could be aggro 2 people, he's being aggro by himself?
Yeah, the video is I'll link the video and we might be able to post it in the comments.
There you go. Everybody even heard the sound of you linking the video. Bam, he did link the video. He's a man of his word.
It is done.
That brings me to a cheesy build too. That I don't want to cut you off on the IO thing though.
Sure. I just wanted to let you know what the build was, and that is he goes from Armlet straight into Mask of Madness.
Oh, it's one of those.
Which is so cool.
It's cheesy though. It's cheesy.
Oh, of course, but he hits really friggin' hard for an early game. I mean, plus 25 strength, Mask of Madness, and then on top of that, when IO is running his overcharge, he takes reduced incoming damage.
But he's taking damage from himself too, so it's like you got to do it in a burst.
But it's also increasing his attack speed. As some people forget about, it increases attack speed by a lot in the early game. I mean, maxed out, it's 70 attack speed. And 20% incoming damage reduced.
That's 2,000 gold worth. That's more than 2,000 gold worth.
Yeah. So if you're
value.
good at armlet toggling and you play Wisp a lot, or Wisp, aka IO, a lot, you can crush with this build. It's so cool. And then he moves into a Skull Basher and Daedalus.
What the fuck?
I know.
Skull Basher works on ranged?
Oh yeah, it works. It just works at half the efficiency. It's like 12% chance to bash.
But it's a strength item.
No, it's 10%. It's another strength item, and it's an item that just helps lock down. So it was such a cool build, and I've never seen it done at our level. But if someone can that's a cheese,
yeah,
right?
That is a cheese.
That's a cheesy build.
And I watched Sumail play Windranger mid, and I felt the way that he was playing Windranger mid was cheesy. Because he relied on killing himself to refill his bottle. He would just suicide for the early levels by Roshan. He would he would push a wave really, really quick as Wind Ranger, power shot, whatever, do whatever he needs to, and then just hit evasion, wind walk, and run into Roshan die in between runes. He did that like 2 or 3 times. He got like 3 deaths by killing himself to Roshan. Very early game. Very, very early game.
Yeah, because to be able to, the respawn would have to be like
when
seconds.
The respawn was like less than 10 seconds, he was doing this. And then he would just get back to lane, and he would spend all of his gold, like exactly all of his gold.
Do you know who he was playing against?
No, it's just a YouTube
It must have been like a hero that would hard counter him or something.
Yeah,
because Wind Ranger is really good in the lane.
Yeah, he was doing he was still winning the lane. He just was using his bottle, and he was using all of his mana, and he was using power shot like crazy. And he needed, to be back home again to refill his bottle, refill all of his health and mana, and TP back out there. Like, it didn't matter. It literally didn't matter. Yeah, and he did, some very cool things. His first item, of course, the pros don't even hesitate to get the core items, which is branches to start, into boots, into bottle, but his first item was a Force Staff, which makes sense. You see that a lot on Wind Ranger, but the way he used it, it was always on cooldown. There was never a moment where that Force Staff wasn't being used, and every fucking time he used it, he was using it at the right time. It was just, it was cool to see. It was awesome. It was super enjoyable to watch. And anyway, he gets a Blink Dagger once again. He gets all movement, Boots of Travel, I think, next. And just fucking destroys the game, basically. Just destroys the game as Wind Ranger. But another cheesy one, as far as the jungle cheese goes, if 2 people have to have a Quelling Blade to do this one. And this is a sniper level 7 at 4 minutes. You have to cut down all the bottom trees. It has to be radiant. And you stand on the cliff above the 2 camps that are on lower ground.
Hang on, sorry. Just to clarify. Cut down all the bottom trees.
Cut down the bottom trees, and then you have to cut a path in the top trees so you can see every creep and hit every creep. And you can stack the hard camp that's on the same level ground you are, the medium camp, and the lower hard camp.
From the high ground.
From the high ground. Every minute you can do this. So by 3 minutes you have 9 camps. By 4 minutes, you probably have 11 camps. Because not all are going to stack, maybe 10. So, and at 4 minutes, and then you're just constantly killing the small camp over and over, or the medium camp. And it can never reach you, but you can see it the entire time. So the whole time, you were just shooting that small camp. You stop shooting it at about 45 seconds. So it will go back to its resting spot so you can stack again. And then you just continue to do this, rinse and repeat, until you get, I believe you get Mask of Madness first. And by like 4 minutes or so, you can have Mask of Madness, be level 7, killing jungle creeps with constant shrapnel. And of course, I saw this in 6.83. Shrapnel changes probably affect this, make this actually way harder, because shrapnel isn't hitting instantly.
And the cooldown.
Yeah, and the cooldown. So actually, this wouldn't work anymore, but it was really cool. It made it so there's a sniper that wasn't taking mid that's all of a sudden on the field at minute 4. He is level 7 with a Mask of Madness, boots not far behind, ready to assassinate and kill the fuck out of you.
Now, technically, couldn't you do this at least in part with Nature's Prophet, where each individual tree you can micro to stack a camp? You
could do every single camp in theory with Nature's Prophet.
Right.
Like you have at level 4, you have enough trees to stack your ancients and every single one of your camps. Is that skill out there? Probably. Is that skill worth learning? No, not at all. No, it's not worth it. Probably not. But because that is so fucking micro intensive, and you'd have to get used to the shift timings. Because for the first camp that you're stacking, maybe your shift command goes out a little bit earlier than your second shift command, a little earlier than your third, and so on. It's possible, but not fun to do.
I've also seen guys that get if we're talking about like stacking, guys who also there's a way that you can set it up so that whatever creep you did the Helm of the Dominator on, you can actually have it run, like shift queue it up like 5 or 6 different times to stack at the camp. And you're basically telling it to walk a distance and return to the spot.
And you have to get the distance right. You have to make sure that it's 30 seconds there and 30 seconds back, roughly.
That's something I got to look up, because
that is really fucking cool.
That's really useful.
You would just have to have waypoints. Just like the magic bush to block the 2 camps, block 2 of the radiant camps with 1 ward. There's got to be like a magic distance. Like from this rock to that tree, you can stack this camp.
I think it's even more intuitive than that. I think it's like a certain point in your base, but I can't remember. Anyways, it's something that should be looked up. It's like it doesn't qualify as cheesy, but it's when we're talking about stats.
It's efficiency. It's a cool so long as it's hitting every 53 seconds and it's headbutting and then leaving, because that really is the best way to stack. It's not attacking, because some creatures, ancients, the dinosaur ancients.
Yeah, it's just aggroing, right?
If you aggro the main ancient when you're trying to stack, he just sits there. He's like, nope, fuck you, I ain't following you, and just sits there and like blocks your camp and doesn't stack. So if you attack him and that procs for whatever reason, your stack fails. It sucks.
Yeah.
But you just run your head into him. You just send the centaur to probably run his head into him, I'm guessing.
Yep. Another cheesy strat is the support pudge. Have you seen?
I haven't seen
this one. This one's
How does that work?
A little more well known because it's been used at higher levels. It's a pudge support where he will
hook the enemy in. He's the initiator.
No, that's just a pudge. But
because Yellow Submarine did this, where they picked a pudge and it was bad.
What they did was.
Is that the game you're talking about? The Yellow Submarine game?
I don't know.
Was it qualifiers? American qualifiers?
Roland, I will tell you in 5 seconds.
No, I'm impatient.
Patience.
Oh yeah, defense of the patience. Okay,
there it is.
There we go.
There it is. All right. So Pudge, you don't lane him mid, but you use his hook to hook in a neutral creep as it spawns. Probably on the second wave. You know, it doesn't spawn 0 seconds in, but when the neutral creep spawns 30 seconds in, you wait until your creeps are at a certain point, the newly spawned creeps that spawn at 30 seconds, that are your allied creeps.
Okay.
You wait till they spawn, and then you hook it you hook the neutral creep into the mid lane so that it pulls the camp. It pulls the mid lane creep wave.
What?
So you're pulling mid. And you can do this with Pudge, and you can really do it well with Pudge when I think they increased the, if I'm not mistaken, they increased the meat hook range in a couple recent patches.
Huh.
So it's something where you can pull the mid lane consistently, which will give you.
Do you have a centaur just walking to the side of the creeps? Is that what you do? A centaur walking to the side of the creeps, then you hook the centaur? And then it pulls
you don't
the
even
shitload?
have to, you can just hook the centaur as he's sitting in his camp. If you hook the centaur,
then all the creeps attack the centaur.
Exactly, because you're aggroing the centaur who's gonna maybe look to punch you.
Awesome.
Right? So
it's and that's a camp that'll eat a wave, pretty much.
Yep. That can take out a wave. Wow. And you might be able to double pull it with the if you're on Dire, the camp right next to it. You know, that you just eat a tree and pull that wave.
That's really cool.
And you can win. I mean,
that's a radiant.
At lower
thing,
levels,
though.
you just win mid lane.
That's a radiant thing, and that's what makes me.
It's a Dire thing.
Oh, it's a Dire thing.
Primarily a Dire thing. I think you can still do it.
You're hooking.
It's higher.
Oh, you're hooking that.
Harder.
It's at the tier 2. It's by the tier 2. That's the camp you're hooking.
Exactly.
That's a hard camp.
Yes. Which means you can eliminate the creep wave with it.
That's really cool. Well, Blue.
Yeah.
This has been fun talking about cheese with you, and you being open arms about it.
And the beautiful part about it.
You've listened.
There's so much more. I mean, we just
there is.
Hit the tip of the cheese iceberg.
Go ahead and tweet in the cheese you've seen, and I'm sure it's gonna. There are a million ways out there with every hero to be cheesy.
Oh yeah.
And what do you think?
The surface.
I mean, I think 6.83 sniper period was cheesy. I will say that. I honestly felt that way playing him. Like I knew what I was doing was wrong because it was too easy.
Those were the dark times. I don't like to talk about them. He was my Voldemort. You know. He's he who shall not be named.
It is. He's still a good hero, and they just brought him back to Earth.
Yeah,
is all they did.
He's still a good hero.
Yeah, he's still a good hero. I still will play him. Depends. It always depends, right?
Very situational.
It always depends.
I mean, how many times has anyone having any Dota conversation not said something
about
and inserted the word situational, right?
Yeah, well, that's always the argument when you're like, nah, you're wrong. Situational.
That's right. It's a game of situations.
Sure. But all in all, it's not like he's fucking Undying. You know what I mean?
I mean,
that hero. I don't know why you don't continue playing him.
I should play him more.
Yeah, we should play a game where you're playing Undying.
I'm down. You want to do that soon?
Yeah, definitely.
After this?
Yeah, probably.
All right.
Well, anyway, hey everybody. Thanks for listening to Defense of the Patients. This is Roland from MistaBlue saying good luck and fuck Cyphus.
Damn right.